Thank you for joining the news at 2 on Ogun State Television. I am Simia Tabaru. Don't forget you can watch us live on our website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Facebook Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and TikTok at Ogun State Television. 9 agreements were signed between Turkey and Nigeria in the presence of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Nigerian President Bola Tinubu. The agreements were signed following one-on-one and delegation-level meetings at the presidential palace in Turkey's capital, Ankara. The two sides signed several agreements and memoranda of understanding covering cooperation in diaspora policy, media and communication, higher education, halal accreditation, military cooperation, and cooperation with diplomatic academies. Both sides also adopted a joint declaration establishing the Joint Economic and Trade Committee, JETCO. The agreement signed included a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the field of diaspora policy between the presidency of Turks abroad and related communities of Turkey's Ministry of Culture and the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission. A memorandum of understanding was also signed between Turkey and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the field of media and communications. Also signed was a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the field of higher education.
How do we build an inclusive economy together? That's what we discuss. How do we reform? How do we reform and get everybody, vulnerable people in particular, involved in our economies? How do we develop this country, give peace and stability, peace and stability of the continent of Africa?
Our foreign service needs the expertise, the training that Turkey can offer. With this agreement, there will be exchange programs. There will be more coordinated learning capabilities for our officers. And I believe that it's going to be a win-win situation, not just for Nigeria, but also for Turkey as well.
To strengthen national security and drive economic activities in conflict-affected areas. This followed the inauguration of an 18-member committee by the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, tasked with reclaiming ungoverned spaces for economic viability and repositioning the Nigerian Legion Corps of commissioners and veterans. A statement by the ministry's Deputy Director of Information on the line, Uchuko, on behalf of the Director, Information and Public Relations, said the committee was inaugurated on Tuesday at the Ministry of Defense headquarters, Abuja, with the minister represented by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Richard Filangu. Speaking at the event, Musa said the deployment of veterans into ungoverned spaces would complement ongoing military operations by bringing experienced personnel into local security and development efforts, particularly in areas where state presence remains weak. In Ogun State has flagged off a statewide measles rubella vaccination campaign aimed at protecting children from 2 highly contagious and potentially life-threatening diseases. Wife of the Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, who performed the flag-off, said the campaign underscores the resolve of the state to safeguard children from preventable diseases. Our reporter, Margaret Okunola, was at the Cultural Center, Kuto Abeokuta, the venue of the flag-off ceremony. Her report.
In line with the national and state targets of zero tolerance for morbidity and mortality arising from measles and rubella, the Ogun State government flagged off the 2026 measles rubella vaccination campaign through the Ogun State Primary Health Care Development Board. The campaign, carried out in collaboration with Ajoshe Foundation, The foundation of the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, who described it as a decisive step towards ending preventable childhood diseases that threaten the well-being and future of the Nigerian child.
Vaccination remains one of the safest, most effective and affordable public health interventions available. The measles rubella vaccine has been proven worldwide to save lives, reduce childhood illnesses, and protect future generations.
The flag-off ceremony attracted top government officials who reiterate the commitment of the Ogun State government to strengthening the healthcare system, particularly at the primary health care level, through infrastructure upgrades, recruitment of health personnel, improved medical records, functional ambulance services, and expanded health insurance coverage.
This intervention reflects the unwavering commitment of the Ogun State government to child health. This is to prevent measles and rubella infections, reduce childhood illnesses and deaths, and protect the future generation from congenital rubella syndrome.
We have sensitized all our 20 zonal education officers, and we have held series of PTA meetings with our parents, especially the mothers, to bring out their children for this immunization.
I appreciate Her Excellency, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, for her visionary leadership and for her support always.
Health stakeholders, development partners, traditional and religious leaders, and health workers across the state caution against fear and misinformation, urging parents and caregivers to ensure their children access the free and safe vaccines, stressing that protection is only guaranteed through vaccination.
We are focusing on approximately 2.9 million children. Because from the national and global expectation, we're expecting us to meet at least 95% of that target.
At the global level, we develop strategies and policies, and we do surveillance to see how countries are doing globally with eliminating measles and rubella. And it's really exciting to see that Nigeria is on track to introduce this vaccine.
The excellent health indices across all age groups in Ogun State is a testament and reflects the political will and courage of the state leadership to continue to do the right thing.
The measles rubella vaccination campaign is expected to reach about 3 million children aged 9 months to 14 years across the 20 local government areas of Ogun State, with vaccination taking place in all primary health centers and designated posts statewide. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
A 2-day capacity building training for senior and junior staff of the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development has gotten underway with emphasis on strengthening ethical conduct and professional identity in social work practice. The training theme, developing a strong sense of self as a social worker grounded in ethical standards and values and professional boundaries, was designed to equip social workers with the skills and mindset required to deliver effective and ethical services, particularly to vulnerable groups. Lydia Lawyer reports the Day 1 session, which focuses on senior staff of the ministry. Her report.
In a move to strengthen capacity and professionalism within the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, senior staff of the ministry converge on the Stella Obasanjo Children's Home, Ibarra, for a 2-day training program. Declaring the training open on behalf of Governor Dapo Abiodun, the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Adijat Adeleye, highlights the critical role of social workers in nation building, stressing that ethical standards, discipline and professionalism remain essential to public trust and effective service delivery.
The nature of our responsibilities require that we remain constantly equipped, trained, retained, and empowered to meet the increasing demands and complexities of our work. Capacity building is not a one-off event. The ministry is committed to investing in its leadership because the quality of our outcomes is directly tied to the quality of our people.
Other members of the ministry's management team urge participants to apply the knowledge gained from the training to improve their daily interactions with clients and host communities.
While government provides opportunities such as this, each officer must take personal ownership of continuous learning and professional growth.
Let this training serve not only as a means of personal and professional growth, but also as a platform for us to unite in our mission to uplift the marginalized and empower women and children across our state.
Day one of the training, dedicated to senior staff, features insightful presentations from guest speakers drawn from relevant professional and social development sectors. The sessions focus on self-awareness, ethical responsibility, and the importance of maintaining clear professional boundaries in social work practice.
Whatever you are doing, you must make sure that there's what we call confidential treatment. Like the commissioner has said, you don't reveal information the vulnerable has revealed to you. And your conscience must also be clear, because clear conscience fears no accusation.
You know, this principle, we have new things every time. They've known most of these things before now, but when they learn new things more, it will help them.
The program continues on day 2 with sessions for junior staff, as the ministry reaffirms its commitment to professionalism, ethical excellence, and quality social service delivery across the state. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Teaching Service Commission has set machinery in motion to address concerns arising from the recent redistribution of secondary school teachers across the state. In response to appeals from affected teachers, the task on redistribution and review panel begins hearings to examine complaints and review applications. Our reporter Elizabeth Esson reports that the panel sits for 5 working days at the Commission's headquarters, Block A, State Secretariat to Cape Mosa, Abeokuta. Her report.
The redistribution and transfer of public secondary school teachers by the Ogun State Teaching Service Commission is anchored on Edict Number 3 of June 6, 1991, to ensure equitable distribution of teachers across public secondary schools and address the over-concentration of teaching staff in schools within the state capital. The Commission, under the leadership of its chairman, Apostle Abiodun Sanyaolu, embarked on a redistribution and transfer exercise earlier in this year. Following the exercise, appeals and protests trailed the move, with some affected teachers citing health challenges, family concerns, and distance to their new postings. The redistribution and review panel is chaired by Commissioner 1 in the Commission, Honorable Adiola Akintonde.
You can see that we have some people that have not even gotten rural experience at all. Some have been in Abeokuta for 16 years, like the one that I just interviewed now. 8 years in Abeokuta Grammar School, another 8 years in Abeokuta Girls Grammar School. That is still within the metropolis of Abeokuta. We need to move them out of Abeokuta to some of the rurals. But basically what we are seeing now here is a lot of people that are within the Egba that refuse to go to the rural. So they cannot help it but to move to the rural areas.
Also on the panel is the Principal General, your division, Ajani Bankole.
We are praying that the Ogun State government will support them, maybe with some incentives. In short, the chairman of the Teaching Service Commission has met with the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, because that is the only job teachers can do according to the edict. So they are now helping them. They want to support them with seedlings and working tools, that they themselves, those that are in the rural areas, they will make more money from this agriculture.
Among the appellants is a female teacher who, after resuming at a new school, returned to inform the panel of her satisfaction with the transfer.
Immediately I got to that school, I saw that I want to carry out my skills, and the students, they don't do PhD normally. Since they are not doing offering PhD, I want to stay with them and bring out my skills on them so that I can get more useful students. You don't know what we are going to achieve, where you have been posted to. So for me, I don't know why God has posted me to that place, so I want to remain.
All appellants are required to appear before the panel with relevant documents on their scheduled dates, as hearings are conducted strictly by invitation. The Commission warned that falsification of information, unruly behavior, or any form of misconduct before the panel attracts automatic disqualification, with offenders liable to disciplinary action, including possible dismissal in line with Edict Number 8 of 1991. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
Following the recent defection of a former minority whip, Honorable Rashid Kashamu, from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Ludai Selemide, has announced the resolution of the Minority Caucus intimating the Assembly on his replacement with a member representing Ogun Waterside State Constituency, Honorable Shamshideen Lawal, as a new minority whip of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The announcement was made in line with the parliamentary procedures to ensure the smooth function and proper representation of the minority caucus in the House.
The former minority whip of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Rashid Kashamu, recently on the floor of the House announced his defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Equal to this, Minority Caucus saw it important to fill the vacuum, and that is why they intimate the Assembly on its replacement with member representing Ogun Waterside State Constituency, Honorable Shamshideen Lawal, as the new minority whip of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which was announced at the plenary by the Speaker, Right Honorable Ludai Selemide. In his remarks under the motion for adjournment, the minority leader, Honorable Lukman Adeleye, expressed appreciation to the Speaker for consistently upholding the ethics and tenets of the legislative institution and for recognizing and safeguarding the right of the minority caucus.
In absentia, I want to congratulate my brother, Honorable Lawal Shamshideen, member representing Ogun Waterside, on the new position and assignment. I do wish and pray that this regime will bring forth progress, increase to the minority caucus.
Meanwhile, as the state celebrates the 50th anniversary of its creation, the Speaker, Right Honorable Ludai Selemide, has lauded the founding fathers of the state, led by late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, for their foresight and immense contribution to the growth and development of the state in the last 5 decades. Elemide, who made the remarks while fielding questions from journalists ahead of the celebration of the golden anniversary of the creation of the state, explained that the foundation of industry, investment, initiative, and political development had helped to position the state ahead of its peers in the Committee of States in the Federation.
I give it to our founding fathers, the likes of Awolowo and all his followers, for giving us the opportunity. And I give it to the late head of state, General Murtala Mohammed, who created 7 more states, among which Ogun was. Socio-economic development, the creation has sustained that. In terms of education, it has helped us. In terms of medical and healthcare delivery, it has helped us. So, to me, we have really been benefited with the creation.
He recalled the legacy projects initiated by the founding fathers, including the former Gateway Hotel in Abeokuta Ota and Ijebu-Ode, which had been concessioned for better performance and aid returns on investment, the state television, the State Broadcasting Corporation, as well as the State University, among others, which had helped position the state as industrial and educational hub in the region.
The Nigeria Union of Journalists Ogun State Council has inaugurated members into various committees as part of effort to strengthen its administrative structure and program implementation. During the inauguration, the chairman of the council, Comrade Wale Olariwaju, said members of the various committees were drawn from different chapters into 11 standing and other committees. Our reporter, Margaret Okunola, was at Iwere, venue of the inauguration exercise. Her report.
A total of 11 committees covering key areas, including capacity development, ventures and assets management, membership revalidation, ethics and discipline, media parliament and press week planning, among others, were constituted. The committees are made up of chairmen, co-chairmen where applicable, members and secretaries drawn from across the union to ensure broad participation and effective service delivery.
Another significant step in our collective aim to strengthen the everyday in the state. And the committee being inaugurated today are not mere formalities. They are the engine rooms through which our vision, policies, programs, activities will be translated into tangible outcomes for our members and the journalism profession at large.
An officer of the national body of the union, James Showole, emphasizes that the inauguration is the fulfillment of the mandate of the union, which aims at improving professionalism, strengthening welfare, uphold ethical standards, and promoting unity within the union.
Let them work. When they are doing for you to guide them, and provide the enabling environment and logistics for them to work. When these are done, everybody will feel free to do what is expected of them.
The committees say they look forward to the task ahead.
Expect accountability, transparency. All we are out to do is to ensure that all assets of the council is up to date and is of good use to members, and of course make sure that the assets are improved upon.
We are committed to do a great job for our union. Our duty mainly is to attract big men and women to come down to Igwenyoji, associate with us.
During the inauguration, Chairman of the Council, Comrade Wale Olanrewaju, commended and pronounced OGTV Chapel as the best chapel for year 2025 for its commitment and dedication, which reflected in its accurate and consistent news reportage. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The federal government has taken steps towards resolving Nigeria's estimated 4 trillion naira power sector debt burden as 5 power generation companies signed settlement agreement on the presidential power sector debt reduction program following the issuance of a 501 billion naira bond. The bond, which reportedly recorded 100% subscription, was issued in Lagos, attracting interest from pension funds, banks, asset managers, and other institutional investors, signaling renewed confidence in the government electricity market reforms and its approach to resolving legacy sector challenges. The program, driven by President Bola Tinubu, is designed to address payment arrears owed to power generating companies for electricity supplied over the past decade. The legacy debts had constrained liquidity, weakened balance sheets, and discouraged investment across the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the managing director of the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, Johnson Akinao, described the program as a historic and defining moment for Nigeria's power sector. The Central Bank of Nigeria has approved a temporary window allowing importers to use expired National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control licenses for import documentation, offering short-term relief to businesses affected by system changes in Nigeria's trade processing framework. In a circular issued on January 26, 2026 by its Trade and Exchange Department and published on the bank's website, the CBN said authorized dealer banks may continue to process Form M applications with NAFDAC licenses that expired on December 31, 2025. The approval, which takes effect immediately, will run for 2 months and lapse on February 28, 2026. The Apex Bank explained that the approval followed a temporary dispensation granted by NAFDAC and applied strictly to form processing during the period. It said the measure was necessitated by operational challenges linked to the migration from the legacy Nigeria Integrated Customs Information System 2 platform. And finally, on sport, Nigeria captain Wilfred Ndidi has lost his father, Sunday Ndidi. Sunday Ndidi died in a road accident around the Umu-Nede area of Delta State. Meanwhile, Ndidi has recorded his last moment with his father before his death. The Super Eagles, who was part of Nigeria's team at the just concluded 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON, recorded his goal celebration after scoring his first ever goal for Nigeria in a 3-2 win over Tunisia. The Super Eagles have also extended their condolences to the player, praying for Ndidi and his family. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has extended condolences to Super Eagles midfielder Wilfred Ndidi on the death of his father, Sunday Ndidi. Sunday Ndidi reportedly died in a road accident on Tuesday in Umu-Nede near Agbo, Delta State. In a statement issued by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the president described the death as tragic and expressed sympathy with the footballer and his family. Tinubu prayed that God would comfort the Ndidi family and grant eternal rest to the soul of the deceased. Indeed, our condolences too. Now, before we go, courage is the most important of all the virtues. Without it, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. And that's according to Maya Angelou. And that's our news this afternoon. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.